7% of those it has detained in Minnesota have no criminal record at all.
CBS's Katie Weiss tells us a record number of ICE detainees are now giving up their cases and voluntarily leaving the country.
They say that the conditions are terrible in some of these detention facilities, and it just becomes a point where immigrants want to have their freedom.
As investigators in Arizona search for new clues in the disappearance of Today Show host Savannah Guthrie's mom, CBS News law enforcement contributor Rodney Harrison says there's a lot they have to consider.
When you have 4,000 tips coming within a 24-hour time frame, it's very, very difficult.
The tip surge came after images of a person from Nancy Guthrie's porch emerged. On Instagram today, Savannah Guthrie said, quote, "A lovely mom, we will never give up on her. Thank you for your prayers and hope." The maker of a gun accessory has agreed to settle a lawsuit over the 2022 supermarket massacre in Buffalo.
Mean Arms will pay $1.75 million to victims' families and survivors of the shooting. The alleged white supremacist who killed 10 people used a Mean Arms device that removed a lock on his rifle so he could add high-capacity magazines. New York Attorney General Letitia James.
We hope that by holding this manufacturer accountable, we can offer the people of Buffalo some measure of comfort.
Buffalo City Council member Zanetta Everhart's son was wounded in the shooting.
Remember that the families are still going through this.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
At the Winter Olympics, Ukrainian skeleton racer Vladislav Haraskevich was stopped from competing at the Games after he refused to stop wearing a banned tribute helmet. It shows the faces of more than 20 Ukrainian athletes and coaches killed in the war with Russia. The IOC says that helmet breaks rules against political statements in competition.
I cannot understand for what I was suspended, and I still try to figure out it.
IOC President Kirsty Coventry cried when she discussed that decision with reporters after trying in vain to persuade him to compete with a different helmet. Wall Street. Right now the Dow is down 81 points. The S&P is down 40. This is CBS News.
Follow and listen to the official 48 Hours After Show post-mortem on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at aminet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WebNow1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
This is Craig Buckner with Mills Family Pharmacy.
Mills Family Pharmacy on South Church at Veterans Parkway.
You or your loved one are on a complex medication regimen. We can pack that into a multi-dose planner that's labeled correctly, that simplifies your life.
Mills Family Pharmacy, dedicated to providing customers with services that are customized to meet their needs.
Your medication's dispensed in a 30-day multi-dose planner, labeled correctly with each individual medication on each packet.
Mills Family Pharmacy, next to Toots on South Church at Veterans Parkway.
This message brought to you by the Central Tennessee Regional Solid Waste Planning Board. Visit RecycleRightTN.com for tips, ideas, and locations on where to recycle near you. That's RecycleRightTN.com.
Recycle right, it's all on you. Don't be trashy, recycle classy, recycle right, Tennessee.
Go to RecycleRightTN.com.
Recycle right, Tennessee.
We're the Good Neighbor Network, FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, audio and video streaming at WGNSradio.com. This is Rutherford Issues, hitting right at what matters most to all of us here in the heart of Tennessee. From Murfreesboro to Smyrna, Eagleville to Laverne, Leanna to Barfield, and everywhere in between. If it matters to you, you'll hear about it here on Rutherford Issues. Now your host, Bryan Barrett.
Well, hey, hi, and hello there, fun lovers and truth seekers. Welcome in to Rutherford Issues from WGNS and Big G TV today. Very happy you're alongside. Program brought to you by Middle Tennessee Electric. You know, for nearly 90 years, MTE has provided reliable service and peace of mind that we count on. Manage your account anytime at MTE.com or through the My MTE app. News, information, we've already gotten the national news. Did things in a little different order. It's been a little hectic this morning. You know how that goes, right? Trying to get things ready to rock and roll here for you. Part of that is information about our winners today. One of the things that got me a little behind is I was working on the story that just went up about our Mr. and Miss Basketball finalists that are from Rutherford County. We're going to talk about that here in just a few. Awfully proud of those young people. But today we're proud of Barbara Fishback, who is celebrating a birthday. How about that? If you see Barbara out and about, wish Barbara a happy birthday. Barbara is the winner today of banana pudding from Slick Pig over at 1920 East Main. Great folks out at Slick Pig Barbecue. They'd love to serve you up some great barbecue, ribs, wings, whatever you want. They've got it for you over at Slick Pig. Barbara, congrats on having another birthday here on this 12th of February. And Diana Rust is today's SRM Concrete Good Neighbor of the Day for her community outreach, helping to build impactful cross-sector partnerships. Diana Rust receives flowers from Jenny Harrison and everybody at Ryan Flowers Coffee and Gifts, plus WGNS Radio. Our good neighbor today, Diana Rust. Congrats, Diana. Enjoy the flowers. And thanks to the person who sent in that nomination. You know, it's easy. All you have to do is text NEIGHBOR to 615-893-1450. And when you do that, you'll get a reply from us, and there'll be a link in that. Just tap on that. Takes you right to the form to fill out. Easy. It's going to ask you all the questions, which would be name, address, phone number, and sentence why you want to nominate that person. And once you click submit, it's in my inbox, and they'll be Good Neighbor of the Day. It's that easy, that quick. They'll get flowers. They'll get recognition as Good Neighbor of the Day. And it's all pretty cool. And it's all anonymous. We don't say, well, Joe said this about you. That's not the important thing. It's important that you've made an impact on someone, and you're being recognized for that. Today's Good Neighbor salute comes from SRM Concrete. They're locally grown, nationally known, and they're all about celebrating the people who pour strength back into our community.
Good day, Rutherford County. This is Lee Colvin, financial advisor and CFP with Edward Jones. Let's get the latest business news from our financial desk.
CBS Money Watch.
The latest federal jobs numbers blew past economists' expectations. The Labor Department says the U.S. added 133,000 jobs in January, with the biggest boost coming in the healthcare sector, which gained 82,000 jobs. The construction industry added 33,000 positions, which experts say could be due in part to the demand to build data centers. A spokesperson for Ford Motors confirms to CBS News plans to set company-wide bonuses to 130%. The bonus bump is credited to improved vehicle quality. The payouts affect the U.S. automaker's global salaried workforce, though performance can also impact the amount. I'm Jesse Mitchell.
Thanks, Jesse, for the update right now as we check on the current markets. The S&P slides for a third day, down 67 points at 68.73. The Dow is down 366 at 49,755, down below 50,000 for the first time in a few days. And the NASDAQ is off 346, 22,720.
From Wall Street to Church Street, that's the latest business news from the Edward Jones Financial Desk. I'm financial advisor and CFP Lee Colvin. Call 615-907-7056 or stop by our office on South Rutherford Boulevard in the Public Shopping Center.
Now, here's your Rutherford weather forecast.
Well, outside we go. And Big GTV showing beautiful skies, little puffy clouds Clearing conditions. It's 44 downtown, 45 at the Murfreesboro Airport. It's 44 at the Smyrna Airport. Let's get your forecast details. Got some rains coming this weekend.
Well, Brian, it looks like we'll see sunny skies here for this afternoon with a high into the mid-50s. We'll have winds out of the northeast around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Then for tonight, partly cloudy, a low near 32. By Friday, sunshine, a high of 61 degrees. Saturday, a chance for rain showers here late, mostly cloudy, high of 61. Sunday, another chance for rain, cloudy, high around 64. Then by Monday, mostly sunny, high of 65 degrees. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki.
Thanks, Jennifer. And here is a look at our Rutherford weather radar. I will tell you that Saturday, our rain chances have kind of pushed back a little bit. So Saturday during the day, maybe an off and on shower, but looks like we're going to be 61 southeast winds coming in here. But rain Saturday night, Sunday. We could even see a thunder boomer or two on Sunday, but not expecting severe weather. And next week, we could be back at 70 in the 70s by Wednesday. So that's why the Climate Prediction Center has our next 6 to 10 days with an overwhelming chance of being above normal. Next 8 to 14 days, pretty much the same. And the next 3 to 4 weeks, good chance of being above normal. So is that it for winter? Well, the thinking is maybe not so. Looks like March, and this is way out. This is just predicting climatology and all, but looking like March may be below normal temperature-wise, so we'll see. But precipitation, near equal chances here for the next 6 to 10 days. Next 8 to 14 days, we could be a bit above normal. As we look at the models for this weekend, we'll pull up our long-range forecast and just kind of spot when this model in particular is picking up on when our rain chances could be highest. Let's see. We're going to go back here to the 14th, which is Saturday, so Valentine's Day. This particular model showing showers, maybe downpours by 3, 4 o'clock. But by 9 o'clock, so overnight, that's when we're going to get showers and storms. Here's midnight. Looks like some very heavy rain could be falling, maybe a thunder shower or two in there, which creates greater downpours. This is noon on Sunday. Looks like a sloggy trip to church. And then by 9, 10 o'clock, beginning to move out by midnight, certainly, and then clearing skies for the next several days. That's a look at your Rutherford weather forecast. Don't forget to check us out on the Rutherford Weather Channel, RutherfordWX.com. That stands for Rutherford Weather, RutherfordWX.com. On that website, there are links to our social platforms where we're very active on YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. I would say pick between, if you want, or you can pick all, but Facebook, X, and Instagram. That way you'll get a few posts about, well, we've got some, heavy rains this weekend. That's not necessarily video or going live worthy, right? But we do go live. We're live on all of those platforms, and especially YouTube. It's so handy on your phone, also on your computer, on your tablet, even on your television. So you can keep up with local Rutherford County weather. And we're live on the Rutherford Weather Channel with radar, cameras around the area, meteorologists who are going to keep you informed. I just kind of keep it between the white lines. And so that's what we're doing over on the Rutherford Weather Channel. So check us out. RUCO Weather on any of those social platforms, RUCO Weather. And that is an update here on your forecast from WGNS and Rutherford Weather.
Rutherford Issues on News Radio WGNS.
Well, today's coverage on Big GTV made possible by Murfreesboro Medical Clinic. Making health easier from finding a doctor to checking your records, MMC offers everything you need all in one place. A very quick sports check is coming up here in just a moment. And in just a few minutes, we're going to be talking about Kamari House, what it is that nonprofit does here in our community, and got a fundraiser coming up. We're going to tell you all about it as Emily McKee joins here on the show. Stay tuned, more to come. A sports look in just about a minute or so. Stay with us.
This is a paid legal ad.
At the law offices of John Day, we take only real cases that make a real difference.
Dear John, I want you to know that I appreciate everything you have done so much. I know you went over and beyond, and that's why I just think the world of you. Thank you. Robert K.
My pleasure, Robert. If you're ever injured, know that we are here for you too. Call the law offices of John Day for a free consultation. And remember, there's no fee unless we win your case. Seriously injured? Call me, John Day.
Friends? Yes. The financial partners whom you've built a relationship with at Old National Bank are still at the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard location, right here in the borough. And so are the warm, homemade cookies.
Cookies are ready, dear.
Like Grandma used to make. If you need online and mobile banking, Murfreesboro's Old National Bank does that too. You and Old National Bank, better together.
Old National Bank at 2230 Dr. MLK Jr. Boulevard. Old National Bank. Member FDIC.
WGNS Action Line, talking with Rutherford County newsmakers about what matters most to you. Weekday mornings at 8:10 on News Radio WGNS. This is News Radio WGNS, Prime Time Sports.
Sponsored by the law offices of John Day. Our expanded office location is on Medical Center Parkway, just across the street from the hospital. If you've been injured, call us for a free consultation at 867-9900.
All right, on the local sports scene, some breaking news this morning. The Mr. and Miss Basketball finalists from TSSAA have been named. The prestigious pursuit of Tennessee's most coveted high school basketball honors is nearing its conclusion. We've got several locals on there from Providence Christian Academy, Middle Tennessee Christian School, and Eagleville School. So here's a look, okay? This year's finalist highlight the depth of talent in Rutherford County. In the Division IIA Miss Basketball category, 2 of the 3 statewide finalists come from Murfreesboro. Katie Bajorn from PCA and Jules Farrell from MTCS have both been recognized for their exceptional season so far. And over on the boys' side, Christopher Washington Jr. of PCA secured one of the 3 spots. Eagleville's Camden Cole represents the Eagles as a finalist in the Class Single A Mr. Basketball category. His team still undefeated, like 23 or 24-0 now, and looking to make a long run into the playoffs. You can check out all of the finalists and read all about it at WGNSSports.com. So tonight we've got Lady Raider basketball for you as the Lady Raiders host Jack State. That'll be at 6 o'clock tonight. We'll have pregame at 6, tip at 6:30. Men are playing at the same time, so we'll get you updates on the women's game, how the men's game is going. Then on Saturday, we've got 2 for you. The Lady Raiders at 3:30 as they host Kennesaw State, and then we'll pick up in progress the middle men at Western Kentucky. Probably going to get the majority of that game. We will get all of that game because it's a 6:30 pregame, 7 o'clock for the tip. High school-wise, we are at Siegel for the Riverdale Siegel games tomorrow night here on WGNS. And then Saturday morning, talking with boys basketball coaches on the Prentice Alsop Heating and Air Coaches Corner. That comes your way at 9 a.m. So be sure to tune in with Cougar Corner at 11:15. That's our latest local sports look. We're going to check the statewide news with Will Nunley right now at 10:33.
Access Tennessee News, I'm Will Dudley. A former Tellico Plains police officer has been charged by a Monroe County jury after an investigation by the TBI reveals that he committed sexual acts with a minor. Tellico Plains police officer Clayton Fox was charged after an April 2025 incident. Agents say Fox, while on duty, engaged in sexual contact with a minor. Wednesday, a Monroe County grand jury returned indictments charging Fox with 1 count of official misconduct, 1 count of statutory rape, and 2 counts of false reports. The city of Hendersonville has approved fees on new developers. This week, the Hendersonville Board of Mayor and Aldermen passed an impact fee on new residential developments. Officially, Hendersonville's fee to build a new single-family home will be $6,000, with multifamily apartment developments costing about $5,000. The funds from these fees will be designated solely for city parks and city roads. More news in 30 seconds.
Ascension St. Thomas Heart is the leader in Middle Tennessee for heart care, providing the most advanced options, including heart surgery and transplants. Our nationally recognized cardiac team cares for more adult hearts than anyone in the state, from AFib to heart failure, using minimally invasive options when possible to help shorten recovery, making Ascension St. Thomas Heart your first choice for routine heart care and cardiac emergencies. Schedule a heart screening or find a cardiologist at ascension.org/St. Thomas Heart.
The Ford Motor Company and the Brownsville-Haywood County Animal Shelter are making this Valentine's a little sweeter for animals in need. They're partnering to waive adoption fees and more. To celebrate the month of love, leaders want every animal, they say, that goes home to get a healthy start and a real second chance at happiness. Ford is not only covering the adoption fees, but spay and neuter costs are on them as well. So if you're looking to adopt, head on over to the Brownsville-Haywood County Animal Shelter in West Tennessee. Will Nunley, Access Tennessee News.
I've got pests, bees, buzzing, rodents running all through my house. Ants chewing wood, and look, there's a mouse. I'm overrun with pests, but you're gonna be sure, safe and secure. It's the last rites for those pests. Call the best of the best to get rid of your pests.
893-7111. AmeriCare Services Incorporated. Call us today. 893-7111.
Whether it's a cough, a fever, or something you can't quite name, MMC Now makes care easy. Walk right in, get seen quickly, and your visit connects directly to your MMC doctor. Care you trust, with providers you know, with digital check-in and multiple locations around town. MMC Now is here when you need us.
Murfreesboro Medical Clinic.
Visit maplesrealtyandauction.com or call 615-896-4740.
Maples Realty and Auction.
Sold Maples Realty and Auction.
Rutherford Issues with Bryan Barrett on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna. Listen and watch at WGNSradio.com.
And Rutherford Issues, powered by Middle Tennessee Electric. And thanks to Sharing Change, MTE members make a difference just by rounding up their monthly bills to support local nonprofits. See how it works at sharingchange.org. Speaking of nonprofits, we're going to be chatting today about Kamari House. And, you know, I think the secret's out about Kamari House just because Emily McKee is all around town sharing with from whatever bully pulpit you can get, right?
Absolutely. Give me a mic. I'm ready. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. You're putting that to the test today. I think this is your third stop. You're out really promoting Smoking Barrels, huh?
Yes. So we have our third annual bourbon tasting benefit. I've said it so many times the words have just stopped working. But yeah, on the 26th of February from 6 to 9, we will be out at Copper Ridge for Smokin' Barrel. It is a bourbon tasting. We've got I think it's $50 a ticket for general admission, and we will have 5 different bourbons pouring tastings for general admission, $75 for VIP, and VIP gets 5 additional top shelf bourbons that the general admission people don't get. So it's very special. We've also got the Cigar V will be there. If you are a bourbon and cigar kind of person, have at it. They will be at Copper Ridge with us. And we'll have food and a wine pull, a live auction. It's just really it's a generally really fun time.
Yeah.
If you make it until 9, you'll totally see me take my heels off by like 8:30 and be walking around in house shoes, because that is, by that time my feet are done.
But imagine.
We are super excited for that to be coming up here in just 2 weeks.
Yeah, not that far away. So we're going to spend some time talking more about that and remind you here a bit later on as well. But kind of keep that date circled, February 26th, and we'll tell you how you can get tickets and all that kind of thing here in just a second. But Emily, I guess the question, which you have well practiced by now, I know, just, what is Kamari House? What do you do? So kind of tell us about that.
Absolutely. So we are the only nonprofit sliding scale provider of supervised visitation in Middle Tennessee. There are other organizations that do supervised visitation for full price, and there are if a child is in DCS custody, then DCS provides that. But for the families who are in a high conflict separation or divorce, there are custody concerns, there are safety concerns. There's not anybody who does that at an affordable rate besides us. So when the families are court ordered to that service, they come over to our little house off of the square where the whole place is built for parent-child interaction, and they get to know each other again, because we see families where the children and their parent have been separated sometimes for 5, 6, 7 years. Sometimes we've got kids who've never met this parent before at all. And so we work really hard to make sure that they have a safe space to be able to do that. And we act as kind of the eyes and ears of the court. We're all up in their business, making sure we're listening to what they're talking about. We're seeing what's going on. And just making sure that that child's that they're being able to interact positively and giving them some positive memories when so many of our kids either have no memories with that parent or they don't necessarily have the best ones. And so in our house, you're going to have a good time. That is the whole goal. Yeah. So we work really hard to set everybody up for success too. We've got, we make slime, we make cookies, we have a fully functioning kitchen so you can make your favorite meal together if it's somebody's birthday. We celebrate birthdays and holidays together because these are things you don't do if you don't live with your mom or your dad. Your daddy's not at your birthday party, but you know what? I will make a balloon arch and I will get you a cake. We will sing happy birthday. So we just do this to try to give these kids the opportunity to have some normalcy in this really difficult time, in this big transitional hard spot.
Yeah. I would guess that, you have Christmas dinners and opening gifts, because that's the opportunity for that child and that parent in particular.
Absolutely.
Things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So Kamari House, has it always been known as Kamari House? And maybe a little bit about history and how long you've been here in the community.
Yeah, so we started in 2012. This service was provided historically by a different organization in Nashville and in Murfreesboro. When their funding was cut, some lawyers in town and some of the juvenile court judges in the area called our founders and were like, figure this out. These kids don't have a way to see their parent. And so either they're not going to see their parent or they're going to see them and possibly be put in an unsafe situation. And so our founders, that's exactly what they did. They figured it out. And it was within 2 months of that program ending that we were founded in December, actually 12/12/12. So December 12th of 2012. And we met above somebody's office for a while. We were over in Smyrna near the airport for a little bit, over off of Weekly.
Okay.
And then in 2014, we moved into our permanent home at 308 North Spring Street. And so we finally got an actual house for Kamari House, which was really exciting. And we've been there for, don't make me do the math, 12, 13 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2014 and 2020 said to 12 years. Yeah.
Yep. So we've been here, and we serve not just Rutherford County families. We serve families, anybody who will come to us and can agree to our rules. So that means that at our location, we serve people from Murfreesboro, but also from all over the state. We've had parents that fly in from Denver, from New York, Florida, from Texas, and see their kiddos because this is really their only opportunity to be able to do that.
So if I remember correctly, before 2012, this was the organization that had a place over on Heritage Park Drive in Murfreesboro off Memorial. And so if you remember that, but how did someone come up with the name Kamari House?
Yeah, so when we were coming together, our founders reached out to a detective friend who had worked with CPS and worked at the SVU, and said, we want a child that should be here, and we want to be able to memorialize them and to honor their life. So we reached out to our detective friend, and immediately he was like, this, absolutely.
Kamari.
So Kamari Clark was actually a 16-month-old who was essentially left with an unsafe caregiver. And within a couple of hours of being left with this person, 911 was called, and he was pronounced dead from severe child abuse. And so he should be learning to drive and making his mama crazy now. But he didn't get that opportunity. So when Kamari House was founded, the name was chosen specifically so that we could honor him and his memory.
Well, what a great way to do that in a terrible circumstance. But the number of families that are just together safely now, how many do you serve maybe in a year or so?
When I say it out loud, it sounds like we're really tiny, but we serve about, I think I did the numbers a couple of weeks ago, we served almost 40 families last year, and that is mom and dad and child.
Right.
So it's 40 families, but it's really like 80 families because they are split.
Sure.
And we do, historically, we've averaged between about 350 and 425 hours a year because we only do the visits on the weekends. But last year in 2025, we did 500 hours at just our location in Murfreesboro.
Wow.
So that's 500 hours of tea parties and Pac-Man, making slime, and just giving these kids some normal feeling space in a really not normal situation.
So do you have enough space to do more than one, say at 9 a.m., that kind of thing, so you have multiple families in?
Yes. So our house in Murfreesboro we have basically 5 visitation rooms, and to use the house to its fullest potential, we try to have 4 visits kind of going at the same time.
Yeah.
It is organized chaos, and my staff that do it when they're out and I have to do it. No. I'm like, how do you remember which car gets her? Like, everything's written down, but we know exactly who this is, and they've got it. It's so many things going on. But yeah, they really keep everything sort of running, and we try to do 4 families at a time, and we usually do 2 different sessions of visits each day on Saturdays and on Sundays. But yeah, we can do up to 4. We're actually in the process of expanding. We're opening a place in Franklin as well. And we're going to be able to do 2 families at a time there also on Saturdays and Sundays. So we're going to be, while Murfreesboro will stay doing exactly what we're doing, we're going to add in the Franklin location so we can meet more families literally where they are, which is one of the things that you talk about in social services.
Sure.
Is how do we meet them where they are, both metaphorically but also in real life, because that's a haul from Franklin to here.
Yeah, and you have families meeting in Murfreesboro from really all over Middle Tennessee, I would think.
Yes, we've got a lot of families from surrounding counties. I'm trying to think of the farthest Tennessee families. I think Cookeville, maybe. We've got and we've had people from Gallatin, from Chattanooga. We've had people from Bowling Green, and it's just because we're the only ones that actually do this, who do it as safely as we are. So we meet the Department of Justice and Office of Violence Against Women's security and safety protocols, and so we treat every case like there is a restraining order. So it's a lot of rules to have fun, but the boundaries are what keep us safe, and that is our main goal, is the psychological and physical safety of the children we serve.
Emily McKee is here with us from Kamari House, and we've got a really good picture of what they do here in our community and for our community. And, you know, if a group of judges and lawyers come together and say, hey, we've got to keep something going here, that says a lot. And I'm sure that you're highly utilized through the system, and just creating a safe space for, a supervised visitation, a safe space for these kiddos. And, in the end, I'm sure sometimes maybe a few of the parents come in a bit, I don't know.
Not excited.
Excited.
Nobody's excited to be there.
That's the word I was thinking.
The best worst case scenario is what one of our former parents called it. He was like, I was so dreading this. I was mad. I didn't want to do this. I didn't think I needed to be here, but I could not imagine it have our relationship being the way that it is if we had done this any other way. And so we really get to walk through some really difficult times with these families. And we recognize nobody wants to be here. Nobody's excited about it. The kids are.
Oh, sure.
Because we're so much fun.
In the adult world, though, not so.
Yeah, the adult world, both parties are usually mad that they have to talk to us. And we've got a lot of rapport building to do, because we've not only got the visiting parent who we're just like, here's all your rules. You can't do these things. You can't do this. You can't talk about this stuff. But also the custodian who the kid lives. I mean, you know, you're asking us, strangers, to keep your most precious baby safe from someone that possibly is dangerous to them. So it's really tough work to walk both of those sides, but we do it because we think that the kids need a neutral space to be able to see their parent, and to be able to be a kid and have fun and not worry about all of that grown-up mess that's going on around them.
And hopefully in the end, there are some stories about families who have a situation where they can continue this without the court-ordered restraints or guidelines.
Yeah, we love when families graduate, we always tell them, like, we hate to see you go, but we don't ever want to see you again.
Yeah.
Send us Christmas cards, please, because we want to see the kids grow. Because some of these, I mean, in a lot of these situations, our staff are almost as much a part of the family for that child as their parent. We've got kiddos that see us, that will only see their parent in our building until they're 18. And so I think about that and the responsibility of just making sure that they are safe, and that they are loved and cared for in that space. And that's what our staff do a fantastic job of.
Well, Emily, with all of that said, such a great organization and a wonderful way to have a fun time and also help with, I mean, I'm sure between fundraisers and grants, that's how you keep the doors open.
Yes. So our service costs about $150 an hour to actually provide it the way that we do. And most of our parents pay $25 an hour. And we just have a sliding scale because, again, if you can't pay $150 an hour to see your kid, you're not seeing your kid. And we make it as accessible as possible, especially for the families who are going through a major separation and just don't have the resources to be able to pay those higher prices.
So if you're a business owner, there are opportunities for you to come stand with Kamari House. If you are just someone who wants to come to a fun event, there's a way for you to do that too here in just a couple of weeks. So I'm going to open the door here for you to walk us through some of the things, maybe first of all for those sponsors, because I'm sure you really need to get those online here pretty quickly.
Yes, so we are actually still accepting sponsorships. We've still got a couple of spots open. So we have sponsorships available anywhere from $250 to $2,500. And yeah, sponsors get tickets to the event, obviously, and then they get listed on all of the materials. And then we've also got tickets for, have I already told you? I'm getting my visits mixed up. We've got tickets for $50 for general admission. We've got, I believe, 5 bourbons that'll be pouring for tasting for GA. And then we've got VIP tickets for $75. And there are 5 additional bourbons that are all top shelf, and they're being provided by Amit Patel from Laverne Beverage Depot. He's our VIP sponsor. We've also got, I think I said it already, the Cigar V will be there. And so if you need a cigar with your bourbon, we are delighted to be able to offer that as well this year. There's live auction, a whole dinner spread. It says light bites on all of the thing, but it's barbecue, and it's a gigantic table of food.
Oh, wow.
So there's plenty of food. Like, if you eat before, that's fine, but you don't have to. And it'll be from 6 to 9. We have live music and a wine pull, and we will also have a bar with non-alcoholic options, beer, and then a couple of other options if you're not a bourbon fan.
Okay. And what's the wine pull?
Wine pull, yeah. We will have 75 bags of wine, so bottles of wine in blind bag and you pay $20 and you pick one and you get what you get. Sometimes you might get a $10 bottle of wine for your $20, but you might also get a $125 bottle of wine.
nice.
So it's a complete mixed bag and a blind draw. So it's really fun to watch people do that.
I bet.
And you can also go ahead and open your wine if you're a wine drinker and keep it behind the bar. You don't even have to take it home. You can, if you're not a bourbon drinker and you do the wine pull and you like what you got, we'll stick it behind the bar with your name on it. And you can go ahead and open it there, which
there you go.
Makes it even more fun. And we definitely want to encourage, we've got designated driver tickets for $25. And then also Uber and Lyft are very good options. It is a Thursday night, don't go wild, but Uber and Lyft do come out to Copper Ridge. So we highly encourage people to come responsibly.
Absolutely.
For sure.
And that's Smoke and Barrel, and that is going to be at Copper Ridge, which is out on Betty Ford Road, event space, beautiful space out in the Las Casas area. It's really Murfreesboro, Las Casas, but you kind of get the drift of it. It's on that side of town, and a great space for that, 6 until 9 on February the 26th. It's been fun. Thanks for coming in today.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Emily McKee has been with us today on Rutherford Issues. We thank you so much for joining, and we'll see you back next time.
Jennings and Ayers Funeral Home has served Murfreesboro families.
Subscribe to Big G TV, local content that matters to Rutherford County.